Can I start by asking just what is it about this period of time in America that particularly interests you, and what was it about Bob's story that you wanted to tell?
It's a good question. I find myself telling a lot of stories about the '60s. It's true, and it is a fascinating moment for me. I do think it's a turning point in world culture and certainly in the United States, where modernism had arrived and modern issues had arrived in the sense of fear of nuclear annihilation and in the sense of a new kind of global politics in terms of civil rights, in terms of women's rights, and artistically that there was suddenly a kind of expansion of what how we had ever seen everything since the post-war period. But I also think, maybe I'm visiting, I was born in 1963, so it's like visiting a time which you don't completely remember, but have some kind of foggy, childlike vision of.
And the cast sing and perform in this film, and they're doing it live as well. Now, I remember on Walk the Line, your cast performed as well. I think they were pre-recorded at that time.
Yes. Not in all cases. There were
Okay.
a few cases where Joaquin or others were singing live, but
Right.
but nonetheless.
Well, no. So tell me what it adds. You think to the overall experience that they're going to that effort, that they're learning to play these instruments, they're learning to perform like these characters. Why is that important?
Well, the converse would be impossible in my mind, meaning at least for these movies, when you have artists whose whole brand, who the identifying attribute of their music is its authenticity, its earnestness, its honesty, to do that in a way where it's not even their own voice coming out of their mouth seems a contradictory notion from the beginning. But on top of all that, this idea of doing it live as much as you can is, to me, to free the actor to be able to bend the song, to be able to become inspired while in the scene, because the song isn't just a song, it's a part of a scene. So if they're feeling stress from someone off stage, if they're carrying the baggage of the previous scene into the playing of this song, then there's multiple levels to the scene. How they're feeling, what they brought, the feeling they brought into the scene, who's listening, who's watching, and the actor, when you're talking about the kind of incredible actors I get to work with, takes advantage of all that material to make something new happen.
Well, and it is a wonderful ensemble that you form here.
It is.
In the center of the nucleus of the atom, if you like, is Timothy Chalamet as Bob Dylan. Tell me about the partnership with Timmy.
Well, it's gone on over 5 years, and when you have an actor with his ambition and power and talent, and also he's really smart, like really smart in an intellectual way and in an instinctual way about the material itself. The script, I would be writing and reading in pages over the phone. We would, even while we were shooting, we would talk to each other almost every night and go over the next day's work. I find him to be, I think, I find him to be a wonderful friend and collaborator, but also it's kind of the relationship that's necessary if you want a performance like he gives in this film, which is that the director and the actor really have to be walking hand in hand.
Absolutely. And you've assembled this like incredible set of behind the scenes collaborators. I think maybe one or two new ones here, but there's a real company now that's working on your projects. You've recreated 1960s Greenwich Village, the Newport Festival, with such sort of flourish and style, and it feels like a time capsule. It feels like you're right there. Tell me about, I suppose, that collaboration with your core team, and why it was important to get that feeling.
Well, a number of the people I've worked with on this movie are people I've worked with for many, many movies, among them Phaedon Papa-Michael, the director of photography, Francois Audouy, the production designer, Ariane Phillips, the costume designer, and others. Um, uh, Even the camera operator, Scott Sakamoto, has been on many of my movies. And it's a shorthand you have with each other of how to make a movie. They know how I like to make a movie. Even though I move from one genre to another, um, they know I don't really shoot things differently. The genres take care of themselves. I tend to block and arrange things the same for every picture, in the sense that I have the kind of core instincts I have, for good or worse, for better or worse. But the great thing about having a team like that, especially on a movie like this that doesn't have, a kind of Wolverine budget, is that you have to all find ways to save money and work efficiently, and having trust in each other. The production designer knows if he dresses this side of the street, I'm never turning around to look at that side. So he can put all his resources to what's going to be on camera, and I won't surprise him on the day and suddenly go, nah, I'm looking over here. And Faden and I have a very real language, and we almost always shoot anamorphic, widescreen. We use very old lenses. We both love a kind of very naturalistic look to the movie. We're both real fans of letting performance drive everything, that we don't want our shot making to be ruling the picture, but in collaboration with the actors.
Yeah. Lovely. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.